guys, Mike Gross here at rockinguitarlessons.com and youtube.com/rockinguitarlessons1. And this it's not really a lesson. I've had several subscribers ask me lots of information, just stuff I didn't think that would be asked when I started this channel. So if you clicked on this, this is for you then. It's not really a lesson on anything. I was just jamming some riffs from my old band at the beginning, but this is really to answer some questions. I've had some subscribers ask me what influenced me to start playing guitar and how long I've been playing. I started playing guitar in I'd say 1982. Prior to that, you know, I had a guitar just laying around. I think when I was like 10 years old, my first interest in music at all was from my aunt, who played piano, and my other aunt that played guitar a little bit. And I remember, you know, learning a little bit of piano, and then, you know, I always kind of liked it, but when I was like 12 years old, I really got into guitar, and I was like, man, I just fell in love with it. I remember in 79, 80, hearing Eruption from Eddie Van Halen. They used to play it on the radio, imagine that, and just being mesmerized. And I didn't really play the guitar then, just the sound of Eruption, the energy and the style, and it just did something to me hearing Eruption. That's when I really got serious about guitar. Well, not in 1979 or 80, but that was something that had always been in my head, and playing guitar intrigued me. The Beatles, I remember my mom playing Here Comes the Sun all the time off the Abbey Road album. I loved the Beatles. I always have, even before I played. So I would say the Beatles, Van Halen without a doubt. The year I started playing, 82, it was just insane because metal had come on the scene, and you know, a lot of good guitar players had come on the scene, I think because of Eddie Van Halen. Actually, I know for a fact a lot of them, because everyone that came after them, just about any metal band or rock band or hair band or glam band, gave credit to Eddie Van Halen. And I remember hearing Steve Vai and just being completely mesmerized by him. Malmsteen, he played in a band called Steeler, and hearing the guitar solo he did on there. Started out on a nylon string, doing these it's classical stuff, and just being intrigued and finding out who these players were, you know, Jason Becker and Vinnie Moore. I was a big George Lynch fan. I was also a big Randy Rhoads fan, Warren DeMartini. God, I can go on forever, because there's so many guitar players that influenced me. And I remember, Scorpions. I remember being in 7th grade, and just everyone knew me as the Scorpions kid, man. I was a huge Matthias Jabs fan. I liked his style, I liked his melodicness, I liked his technicality and the way he played, which was a little similar to Michael Schenker. But I was #1. I just called myself the #1 Scorpions fan for quite a few years. And then, I don't know, I think around 9th grade or so, Stryper came out. And see, I always liked Iron Maiden. And Stryper kind of had that dual harmony thing going on. I was a big fan of theirs, Oz Fox, and Michael Sweet, the way they harmonized. The list really goes on, but my influences and what initially got it started, like I said, would be the Beatles and Van Halen, without a doubt. And from there, it just kind of escalated. And, you know, like a kid in a candy store, if you go in, you know, and you've only tasted, you know, a jelly bean and you like them, and then you go into the candy store and you got all these other things, and you're like, oh my God, I don't know how to explain it. It's just kind of a crazy thing. And I really, my first year, because I was in a band my first year of playing, we used to practice at my house, and I'm going to scoot up a little bit. We used to practice at my house, and the drummer, what's up Dave, you're probably watching this, he would leave his drum set at my house. Well, we practiced at his house too, but in the early days it seems like we were at my house a lot, which, thank you Mom and Dad for letting us practice there. I don't think we ever had the cops there, maybe one time. We had the cops called several times at other places, threatening to take our equipment and stuff. But my first year, you know, I was in a band, and I didn't learn the traditional way, and you know, I didn't go to a music store and have lessons. I wanted them. But my mom ordered lessons for me through the mail, and that really got me started with Doug Marks Starlicks. So, and he was teaching, you know, Randy Rhoads riffs, and there was, you can get everything. Black Sabbath. It didn't matter. Scorpions. I remember having the Scorpions one, and he's still around. I looked him up, man, a few months back. Doug Marks Starlicks. I think it's Starlicks is the name of it, but he's still teaching. He's doing some stuff on the internet. He was like a rock star to me because he had all these riffs broken down for me, and they really helped me. They were subgrouped in small pieces, and you can play it slow, and that's the key. And I try to, you know, believe it or not, Doug Marks influenced the way I wound up teaching in 1991, 92, because that's how I learned, and it worked for me. And if something works for you, why change it? I kind of have what I call a common sense method to learning. You don't have to read 16th notes to be a good guitar player. Eddie Van Halen doesn't read any notes at all, and I'm not discrediting that. I read music as well. But you know, what inspired me was the metal bands of the 80s that I grew up listening to. And what I would do is I would find out, like, I remember Matthias Jabs from Scorpions. If he's this good, and I love Matthias Jabs, he's a great player, and I'll say that to this day. I started researching and finding out who he listened to, because he must have did something right, because his influences made him play like that. I want some of that. And, you know, I did some research. Johnny Winter, you know, so then I started listening to Johnny Winter, and you can go back and trace, you know, who this person listened to. And that's why I don't like getting stuck in the mold of just playing one style. I look like I'm just a metalhead or whatever, but I love it all. And you'll notice that on my channel. Little Big Town, it doesn't matter who it is. Van Halen, there's not really any style I don't like. Hip hop, I like everything. Music is, I don't know. Imagine a world without music. For me, it would be close to hell not having music. It's a stress relief, it's fun, it's, I mean, playing with other people and jamming and starting a band and writing your own songs and making your own solos up and adding your own melodies and everything. So to back up really quick, I don't know how helpful this is, but it seems like some of you just wanted some information on that. And I'm definitely not a one style guy, man. I like it all, and I always have. I remember also being, because I was learning guitar, piano, bass, and drums my first year. That's what I was getting at, and I switched gears. My drummer used to leave his drum set at my house, so he'd go home and I'd be playing on his drums. And our bass player, who's Mick Mars from Motley Crue, it's his son, Les, was our bass player, and he'd come over and we'd just jam. I'd get on the drums and he'd get on the guitar or whatever, and we'd just switch around. So I learned because it was accessible and I had it there. It was cool. I loved it. You know, I was getting to learn double bass at a young age. So, by the way, we'll be doing eventually drum lessons, bass lessons. We've already started adding vocal to the YouTube channel, and probably a little piano. Piano's my weakest instrument, but I can teach it. But we're going to stick with guitar and vocals for a while. And I feel like I left a lot of stuff out, guys. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of information. As far as my advice to you young guitar players or older guitar players that are just starting, is don't put yourself in a box to where you're just stuck in one style. Keep an open mind. Don't follow the flavor of the weak bands. It doesn't mean that those bands aren't any good, because that would not be true at all. Memphis Mayfire is a prime example. So there's good stuff out there. Just keep an open mind and draw influence off of all these things. And don't let the radio dictate to you what is good and what's bad. Don't let record labels dictate to you what's good and bad and what you should be listening to. If it's good, it's good. And in the 80s, it wasn't like that. It's like if you were into metal, that's all you had to listen to. If you listened to New Wave and Men at Work and Culture Club and Duran Duran, then they didn't listen to metal. At least my clique of people was like that. I was one of them kind of secret dudes that, like, you know, I was definitely the metalhead, dirthead guy, but you know, I dug Men at Work and Duran Duran. I just didn't walk around in the shirts, and you wouldn't think I liked them by how I looked. But I remember listening to jazz drum solos from Buddy Rich on the radio at 2:30 in the morning on a school night. Stuff like that. Music is everything to me. It's life. It's how I survive, obviously, but if this wasn't how I survived, it wouldn't change a thing. And that's what passion is. When you find something you love. And I'm not good at a lot of things. I'll tell you guys that right now. I'm really not. But the few things that I feel I'm good at and confident in, is enough for me. You know, I'm not a jack of all trades type guy. So anyways, I know I left stuff out. I'll make another lesson. This is long. This is like going on 12 minutes. I feel like I didn't give you guys enough information, but maybe I did. I'm hiding behind the guitar. You like my Ibanez? It's my favorite. But anyways, if I left some stuff out, let me know, and I'll do some more, you know, talking about some of these things. And I got someone that's asking how to figure out solos. I mean, I got some stuff that I will try and impart some information, basically by experience and how I learned how to do it myself. That's all I know, is how I did it. So that's the stuff I will impart to you guys. So anyways, I'm Mike Gross, rockinguitarlessons.com. That's my website. It's just not up yet. Well, it might be, but if it's in 2013, yeah, it's up. It's coming in 2012. $20, become a premium member, and it will take your playing to the next level. It's going to be, you know, covering everything, and make sure that we have all the little things covered in there so you can just flourish and grow. So be watching for that. And what else? YouTube.com/rockinguitarlessons1. That's my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't. Tell your buddies, your friends, your family, anyone that's playing, and if they're in a band, they need help with things, send them my way. What else? Comments, likes, all that stuff. You can request your favorite song riffs, have them done accurately. Check out my good YouTube buddy, Raggy Ragsdale, RAGGYRAGSDALE, and he's just a great human being. So that's why I'm telling you, you know, I don't really send people many places, but I will send you to him, and he's done the same for me. So check him out, subscribe, tell him Mike Gross sent you, and Jolene Gross. Jolene is the vocal instructor, by the way, my wife, so check the vocal lessons out too. And I guess that's it. We'll talk to you later, and I will fill in the holes that I missed. You know, I ain't going anywhere. I'll be here a long time. Tell me in my wheelchair. I'll be in my wheelchair out here, busting out some Eminem for you, dubstep style. Alright guys, later.